Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about chipping, and I'm going to give you 2 shots that you can go away and practice and hopefully sharpen up your short game ready in time for the weekend. I think one of the most important things if you want to have a good short game is to make sure you have the right equipment. Now, what I like to see my amateur golfers having is exactly the same series of sand wedges throughout the bag. And then also the lofts, that is a very personal choice. Me personally, I use 54 degree as a sand wedge and I have 60 degrees as a lob wedge. Now, we read a lot about bounce, we hear a lot about bounce. What bounce should I have on my wedges? Now, I believe if we just go for middle bounce, low bounce tends to be for golf courses where the fairways are firm and the grass is short, and high bounce is for where the fairways are soft and the grass might be that little bit longer. So if you go for middle bounce, you're hedging your bets. If you go and play somewhere where it's very tight, it will still work, and if you go somewhere where it's very soft, they'll also still work. I think it's really important when we practice our short game that we practice the most simple chips. More often than not, I play in pro-ams, I play with amateur golfers, I see they get themselves into good positions just short of greens and they end up taking 3 or 4 shots to get the ball in the hole. So never neglect the simple chips. Don't be out there practicing the parachute lobs over a bunker. I think get your simple chips in order first and then you'll be able to practice the more difficult ones later. Now, what I like to see as well is when you're practicing the short game is to use the golf ball that you use on the course. Now, if you're practicing your short game for hours with range balls and then you go out on the course and you're using a premium golf ball, they're going to react totally different. So try, if you can, when you go to practice your short game, try to use the balls that you use when you're playing on the course. The first shot I want you to go away and practice is the simple chip up the green with a sand wedge. If you watch the guys on the TV when they play this shot, it looks effortless. And if they had 10 shots from here to this flag, I'm pretty sure that most of the best players in the world would hold at least 2 out of 10. So, how are we going to play this shot? And this is just my personal preference. I like to see the grip nice and neutral, holding a little bit further down the club than you normally would if you're making a full shot. Feet a little bit closer together. I like to see the left foot slightly withdrawn. Now, with ball position, I like to see the ball slightly forward of the middle, okay, with the hands in line with the ball. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a short backswing, keeping the club shallow, close to the ground, and then I'm trying to recreate the position I started in at impact. I'm not trying to add loft or take loft off the club. I'm starting in this position, so it should make it simpler to get back to this position at impact. Now, before I hit the shot, I always make a couple of practice swings where I try to make the right sound on the grass. So the club head should gently accelerate through impact. Now, if you make a backswing that is too big, there's no way that you can accelerate through impact. This is when you're going to decelerate and you've got a chance of either hitting it fat or hitting it thin. So, ball slightly forwards, couple of practice swings, making that sound on the grass, and then pointing the club to our target, left foot slightly withdrawn, and I'm just going to try to recreate the position that I started in. The ball bounced off quite nicely. Oh, that was close. The club, it used the bounce, the ball popped up, it had a little bit of check on it and it rolled out towards the hole. I'm going to make it a little bit more difficult for you now. I want you to go away and practice this shot where you have to pitch the ball or chip the ball over a bunker and trying to make the ball stop quickly. Now, this is a very difficult shot. A lot of golfers will struggle with this. Most people will be trying to hit this extremely high, making a very, very big swing at the ball, when this is actually not necessary. What's really important is that we get the ball position in the correct place. I see a lot of people when I play with them and they're chipping the traditional way. The grip end forward, the ball by the right shoe, and I ask them, how are you expecting the ball to fly? And they say, oh, I want it to go high and soft. Now, if you put the ball back in your stance, you're de-lofting the club, which means the ball's going to come out lower and faster. So I like to see the ball more forwards. I like to lay the club slightly open, so the club is then sitting on the bounce. If you have the club straight and in the back of the stance, you'll see here that the club digs in. Whereas if you have the club forwards or the ball forwards, the club slightly open, you see as I hit the ground, the club bounces in the air, and that's going to help make the ball pop up into the air and land softly. So neutral grip again, ball slightly forwards in the start position, the club face laid slightly open, and I'm going to make exactly the same backswing as before. It's going to be shallow, close to the ground, not that long, but I'm going to make sure that I gently accelerate through the ball and try to return the club back to the point where I started at. If I do this correctly, hopefully the ball will pop up in the air and stop somewhere near the hole. Now let's put the pressure on and see if I can do it on camera. Trying to make that nice sound on the grass, laying the club just a little bit open, ball forwards. I'm going to try and recreate this start position at impact. Okay, just give you one more of those. And when you're practicing your short game, make sure that every time you're hitting a chip that you're standing up and you're resetting. You're putting your hands back on the club. You're making that practice swing, trying to make that sound. The club head gently accelerating through impact. Ball forwards, club slightly open, and then we're trying to recreate that position at impact. Okay, I might get away with both of those as an up and down and save par or make a birdie on a par 5, and it's going to dramatically help improve your scores.